Hello there. You are welcome back. That is, if you joined us this afternoon, consider this as the continuation of the broadcast earlier today. Read the caption of the broadcast, the description, like it, then share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them, am I good today? Thank you. Earlier this afternoon, the propagandist illegitimate regime of Tifnumbu decided to fly a fake news. They all shared it because it was meant to test the water. The water is the reaction of all of you to the news. Only for them to retract it a few hours later and denied it outrightly. The news was that Tifnumbu's ministers, Wale Edun, as well as Atiku Bagudu, the Minister of Budget, they said they have put together a package which is going to be the new minimum wage proposal. And it was all over the news. Or it was about today. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching this moment. It is Mayegun Live, and we are treating the trending topics that has to do with people's lives and livelihood. But it is so unfortunate that Nigerians have been bedeviled or accursed with atlas criminals, career criminals who are also career liars, like unprovoked liars. I mean, you can use propaganda to, you can use propaganda to gain power. I'm not talking about rigging and all of that. I'm talking about using propaganda, lies, all of that. But you cannot use propaganda to run a country, not a country that is in a financial mess, economic mess. But with APC, Egbekegbe that created the economic destruction, there is no law that they cannot go. Therefore, yes, propaganda is part of governance for them. And that is why, no matter how horrible things have become, these guys seem to be living in their own alternative world. So different, far, far different from the world that a majority of Nigerians have been plunged into. But it is always, always good not to be so drowned into their lies that you will forget to live your truth. Yes, they have their lies. Then there is truth. You do not have to accept their lies because it is the only thing there is. You can't live, you don't have to live their lie. You can live your own truth. And that is why you are on Mayegun's Diary Politico, the platform that majority of those enablers, the voluntary slaves, They found the platform provocative, inciting, because according to them, why are you trying to wake the mind of the people up? Do you want them to go and fight their leaders? In fact, some of them came to me and said, are you trying to incite us to go and fight our leaders for good governance? I was like, I have no idea what you are talking about. Are you comfortable with bad governance? If your answer is no, then do what you like with the available information on this platform, or continue to live your lie. The real thing is that even those who are living in denial about the reality of Nigeria, they can no longer pretend anymore. Remember those who were standing on the mandate. Majority of them have developed arthritis. Hunger has made majority of them to actually collapse down. Those who are still living can't stand up anymore. That is the reality. You can lie to yourself. You can point fingers. You can blame people for these rogues, but you do know where the shoe pinches, don't you? And if you are pretending about it, here is a voice that will continue to remind you your role in all of this. So if you're part of it, and then you are suffering the consequences, but somehow you are so shameless to publicly actually acknowledge that. Rather, you will hide behind that your fake one Nigeria, become a unity beggar, asking people to give solution to the problems that is deliberately. Oh, let's give the solution to how to make Nigeria better. When in fact, there are those that you are paying them to keep destroying Nigeria. So you cannot use propaganda to get to power and at the same time use propaganda to run a country. You would need to still do some right stuff. Visible stuff, something people can see, and not imaginary development, imaginary this or that APC, Egbekebe wants you to kind of see, and not your own real reality, the one you have right now. Nigeria is broke because they have bankrupted Nigeria, no doubt. The criminals that bankrupted Nigeria are enjoying their loot as we speak. Others have enough to hire the lawyers or bribe the judges, bribe the courts, and get away with their loot. So it's pointless. A system that rewards criminals but punishes hardworking people, unfortunately. So the system is rigged against you because these guys are making policies that will continue to impoverish you. But when it comes to, okay, let them match up the pay. Let them put up a pay that will match the economy they have created. Then the grammars will begin, and including the propaganda. So that is the stage we are at now. Okay, the stage is where the only thing that is delayed is when it comes to you, the people. Oh, we are removing subsidy. They lied about that, and they are still lying about it. And some of you are still there, repeating the same lie. Oh, yeah, it's because they removed subsidy. Oh, it's because they removed subsidy, when you know they did not remove any subsidy. So, Tinubu said he would pay the Nigerian workers above 60,000 naira. So NLC decided to relax their own industrial action while negotiation continues, which is let the government then make a proposal. And there are so many factors that makes this whole thing an outright lie. But somehow, some people, including the NLC, Nigerian workers, they were still thinking that they could make it work. This is what I mean. Currently, Nigeria's law says 30,000 naira is the minimum pay to any worker in Nigeria. Okay? And right now, with 30,000 naira as a minimum wage, so the Tinubu's government is now proposing that, okay, yeah, we will give you 60,000. So they rejected it. All right, we will give you something above that. However, you see that 30,000, more than a two-third of states in Nigeria are not paying it. Even those who are not paying 30,000, paying 22,000, 18,000, 7,000 naira salary, they are still owing their workers. And I'm talking about years of unpaid salary, pension, and other maybe gratuities or whatever, based on that arrangement too. The federal government of Nigeria has been either borrowing money, printing money to pay their own workers that minimum wage of 30,000. Now, the situation has gone over right now in Nigeria, where inflation, not inflation, hyperinflation is currently at over 400%, but officially they put it at somewhere around the 40, 43%. So that's part of the lie, okay? To say, oh, things have gone up beyond 200% in prices. But the official record of those who are gauging the economy says, oh, it is only about 40% inflation. Now, 30,000 can't buy you anything anymore. 60,000 can't buy you a bag of rice. And that's how much they intend to pay a worker for 30 days. So, factoring the inflation in the country, okay, to the proposed pay, it is ridiculous for anybody to even present that to to the public. But it is Nigeria. 30,000 they can't pay. 60,000 or 100,000 they won't pay. And therefore, if the NLC, if they are going to be in any way kind of played, which is what's going to happen, they would then present maybe 75,000 or 80,000 naira. However, the typical propagandists, APC, Egbekegbe, they decided to test the water this afternoon by not just testing the reactions of the NLC guys and workers. They were testing the reactions of everyone, because you see, there is this propaganda being flown on the site right now. If they allow NLC to get a salary increase for workers in Nigeria, it's going to be job losses. So the private sectors are murmuring that because they are already going through hell, paying over 40 to 50% taxes from their money, spending 50% more, if not 100% more, on overhead costs and running their businesses in a month, and yet they still have to pay salary. So they are murmuring, no, we don't pay 400,000. We don't pay 200,000. No, we don't pay 100,000. Like, they are already murmuring, kind of. So today, them dropping 105,000 naira minimum wage proposal. You know what makes it obvious? That these guys are not only just they are criminals, they are also cowards. They do not have any solution to whatever they have created, the problems you are dealing with in Nigeria. They do not have any problem, any solution to them. They would rather milk them, and they will milk them. And this is one of those the ways they will milk your problems. So yeah, they came back and they were like, okay, yeah, the news actually reported, right, that from the Minister of Finance or Coordinating Minister of Nigeria Economy, and that would be the Wale Edun, the bed bug, as well as the Minister of or Minister for Budgets and Planning or something. And that is the Abacha bagman, the man that helped Abacha to siphon billions of Nigerian dollars, Nigerian money anyway, abroad, and ended up having the best of the best deal from both American governments and Nigerian government, that they will give him, number one, it is given amnesty from prosecution. Amnesty from prosecution. It could not be prosecuted or anything. Another one was to get 20% of the money if he tell them and lead them to where Abacha kept all the stolen money, or where he helped Abacha to keep some of the stolen money. He will get 20% of that money. And he's been getting that steady in millions of dollars. That Bagudu guy is now the one with Tifnumbu. So they mentioned him. They said, 2 days ago, the news was Tifnumbu has directed Wale Edun to present a workable minimum wage in 48 hours. How many of you saw the news? Did you see it? It is part of the propaganda. Okay? The tripartite committee, or whatever it's called, tripartite committee. So they were the ones who were to look into the economy side, the financial side, or to Nigeria, the economic side to Nigeria, if Nigeria is to pay the minimum wage being demanded by labor. Now, it is the same set of people. So from the labor guy, he said, now, Bobo, behind the scene, some of you may be expecting them to make announcement of, okay, yeah, we have worked out something. Up to this moment, 48 hours after that they told Wale Edun to present, they said, Tifnumbu, breaking news, Tifnumbu has directed Wale Edun to present the better minimum wage, right? So 48 hours after that, just because you may be asking, okay, 48 hours, Tifnumbu never lapsed in it, they quickly dropped the lie. And then they denied the lie. Now we are talking about the lie. We are not talking about the 48 hours given to Wale Edun by Tifnumbu that was breaking news 2 days ago. We are not talking about that now. We are talking about the lies that they intentionally put out, then denied it later. Like, it's fake news. I did not say we're having a meeting. I did not submit anything to Tifnumbu, kind of. Because behind the scene, above 60,000, could be 60,500. But behind this, this is the Minister of Labor. That lady I showed you yesterday was not actually Uju. That's the Minister of Labor, or Minister of State for Labor, Nigeria. Listen to this.
Affordability and ability to pay, that they don't want people to get into disagreements, and that we should not, we should also listen to their concerns, and those concerns are what we are listening to and looking at. At the end of the day, just trust me, we'll come out of it very clear.
This is a personal one. What's your worry over things that are not able to pay 30,000 and we are discussing an upward review?
My worry is your worry.
Yeah.
Just had a meeting as well again, but there's nothing presented yet. That's the reality of where we are. I see that the Minister of Finance already have their phone. Left even working earlier than us, and they said they are still working on the template that the president mandated them to work on. So they've not presented anything. All we're discussing was just the principles around some of these issues. But the real figure on where we are, they've not presented anything beyond what was presented earlier. So we are hoping that when we come back tomorrow, that we will have something to relate to.
So the template the government is working with is 60,000, if I understand it clearly.
No, there's no template, no, understand it. The point is, we signed an agreement that they will present something higher But as we speak today, they have not presented anything. As of yesterday, you heard it, you reported it, that the president asked them to work on the template and gave them 14 times. So they said they are still working on that template. That's why they left now to continue the work. So we are hoping that by the time we come here tomorrow, we have a better deal and a better understanding of where we are.
But as Labour, have you shifted ground from your opponent before?
And we've not started discussing anything figure. So there's nothing figure, we are not discussing anything figure, it's just the principles that we have discussed. Because they don't present anything to us, so there's no basis of to which we also move. And that is where we are. Thank you.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
So nothing is presented because there are so many factors that always go into minimum wage or workers' pay in Nigeria. It is not always very difficult when they are negotiating the salary structure of the public office holders in Nigeria. Right before our very eyes, the office of the NSA, National Security Advisor to the President, Nuhu Ribadu, is claiming over 50 billion naira for his own office. Special Advisor to President. The highest money ever paid into that office as a budget was 750 million naira. Ribadu came within months. He was able to corner over 50 billion. In 2024 budget, he is going to corner over 170 billion from that budget. Then you have the office of a chief of staff to the president, Gbajabiamule. The same office that you had Abba Kyari. When Abba Kyari was there, they said the highest, the biggest budget of that office. Even when Gambari was appointed there with Bokuwari, was under 1 billion. That was the highest for that office. Office of the chief of staff to the president. These rogues came in. Gbajabiamule alone, right? In a supplementary budget last year after his appointment, he was able to corner 21 billion. 10 billion of it, right? Is to retrain people, IT this, IT that, technology, for the office of the chief of staff to the president. In the 2024 budget, Gbajabiamule alone, his own office, is going to corner over 250 billion naira. This is a fact, it's there, Everybody is pulling their own stuff anyway. The judges have increased, Tinubu has increased the salaries of the Nigerian judges 3 times within a year. Last year, Tinubu said Nigerian judges are poorly paid. So he increased their salary by 104%. By the end of December, Tinubu single-handedly that year of between May and December, Tinubu single-handedly write a check, a free check of over 40 billion naira for the Nigerian judiciary, the judges and the rest of them. Then in January this year, he increased their salary again. Now, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, whose salary annually was put then at 15 million naira, he is going to be working home now with over 65 million naira. In fact, the package comes with other extras that every year the Chief Justice of Nigeria will walk home and walk away with